Hey guys, welcome back. It's your girl Katie here, and today's video is going to be my Shop My Stash for the month of February. Now, how I normally do these videos is I will take you guys along with me as I pick out my makeup products for this month, and then after that I will do a trying on of all the products on my face. But today's video is going to be a little bit different, and I'll explain why. So normally when I film these videos, I will film the picking of the products first before I actually sit down to film my intro and then film the trying on part, just because I find it easier to do that way. Well, when I sat down to film the intro, after I'd picked out all the products, I noticed that I had forgotten to turn on my microphone. Yeah, so it's gonna be a bit different is instead of me refilming the whole process of me picking it out because I didn't feel like it was going to be genuine because, you know, in the moment of me filming, I decide what I'm going to pick that moment, and I'd already done that, so I felt like it'd be kind of fake for me to just refilm that part and just be like, I'm going to be choosing this product because I'd already had in my mind, oh, this is the product that I chose when I was picking out products, so I just felt like that'd be super fake. So instead, I'm still going to show that footage of me picking out the products. It's just there will be no talking because you can't hear me talking because I forgot to turn my microphone on. So that's why it's going to be a little bit different. I mean, I don't know. You guys may like it better that I don't talk while I'm picking out products. Let me know down in the comments if you do actually like this better. I mean, this was an accident, but I mean, if you guys like it better that way, then I can do it that way too. So yeah, so silly old me. But anyways, so I'm going to show you guys the process of me picking out the products, and then after that I'm going to do the try on part. So yeah, but before we get on into this video, you guys know the drill. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of my future uploads. But to no further ado, let's just go ahead and get on into the video. Alright, so products have been picked out, so I'm going to go ahead and start applying them on my face. Alright, so I showed you guys the footage, you know, I didn't do any talking. If you're a little confused as to why in the beginning I showed like me picking out a number and things, I normally, since I am so indecisive and I have favoritism a lot with my makeup products, I've been trying to branch out when it comes to picking out palettes. So basically, I gave my palettes all a number, kind of like, and then I just threw them all in that little jar thing that you saw, and I randomly select a number, and that's the palette that I use. So it's basically like forcing myself to get out of my comfort zone, you know, because I gravitate towards certain palettes, and I have trouble not using the palettes that I really like, and you know, it's just a way to force myself to get out of my comfort zone. So if you're wondering what that was, that's what it was. I did explain that in the video, like I was talking, but because my microphone is off, you guys can't hear it. And another thing, I'm not been using primer anymore. I just find that it doesn't work for me. So instead, I just prime my face with a moisturizer, whatever moisturizer I'm liking or using at the moment. So I'm still using the M Greenhouse CBD head to toe cream here that I got in a box a while back. So that's what I'm going to use to prime my face. And I will of course tell you all the products that I'm using. I did show them all, but I wasn't able to like tell you guys what they were. Or I did, you just can't hear me. Alright, so I guess I'm gonna zoom you guys in. So zoom you guys in. So yeah, just using this moisturizer as my primer because I have dry skin and other primers just don't work for me. So like I said, I don't use primer because my skin is pretty dry, and I just find that primers, either the primers that I've gotten or tried, they just, I want something moisturizing, and I feel like a lot of the times the primers, they just don't do that for me. I haven't found one that's like super hydrating, or ones, I don't know. They just don't work for my skin type. So I just prefer a moisturizer because I want to feel moisturized, and yeah. Alright, so first product I'm going to be going in with is, of course, the foundation, and this is the NYX or NYX, whichever you call it, Born to Glow Radiant Foundation. I did use this in my Try to Get Ready With Me recently, and I did like it the first time I tried it, so I wanted to play with it a little bit more, kind of dedicate a whole month to it, so I pulled this one. Doing these Shop My Stashes, I really have found that dedicating like a whole month to a product really has helped me decide whether or not I like the product. Like sometimes in first impressions, you know, I like it, and then, you know, the more you use it, you're like, sometimes I found this that I'm like, well, I did like it, but now I'm finding these problems with it and things like that, and then sometimes I'll be like, I don't like it anymore. So going in with this is, if I don't break it, I have it in the shade Light, and it says it's supposed to be a naturally radiant foundation. I didn't really find that it looked radiant on me the time that I did use it, but it did look pretty natural on the skin, I would say. I'm just gonna go ahead and put some chapstick on. Sorry, I'm not flipping you guys off. My lips have been so dry. Alright, so going with this. I don't think I'm supposed to shake it up, but sometimes I like to do that. And if I remember, the coverage was like medium coverage. I wouldn't really say it's full coverage. Alright, so there's about one pump on, or it's not a pump, but you know what I mean, like it's one squeeze on, whatever you want to call it. So I think I am going to go in with a little more just to go in certain areas. It does cling to my dry patches, but that's pretty common for foundations to do that. I haven't found one that doesn't do that, but it's not making me look dry. It's just I had a couple of like old pimples down here, and the skin's kind of flaking from what pimples do when they dry out. So it is kind of clinging to those, but other than that, it does look really nice, I think, on the skin. I would definitely say it has more of like a natural finish, I think. I don't think it makes me look very radiant at all. So I'm not really sure what they mean by radiant, like naturally radiant. Unless they're just saying it kind of adds like a natural glow to the face, but I don't think I look glowy at all. So like I said, I would say this is medium coverage, maybe almost light coverage. I mean, my old pimples are still kind of peeking through a little bit. They're not too bad. I guess it covered it up for the most part, but I definitely wouldn't say that this is full coverage. So yeah, moving on to concealer, and what I chose was the e.l.f. 16-hour camo concealer here, and this is in the shade Light Sand. I have used this before, but I haven't used it in a while, so going in with this. From what I remember, I did really like this. I think this is supposed to be like a dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape. I wouldn't say it's an exact dupe, but it is kind of similar. I think the Tarte, did I say sharp? Tarte Shape Tape concealer is a bit thicker and much more coverage, but this one is not bad at all, especially for like the price. e.l.f. is pretty affordable when it comes to prices. I think, I think they have gone up. Like Wet n Wild is still the cheapest, I think, for drugstores, but this is pretty, good. I'm gonna go ahead and cover up some of the pimples that I have that the foundation didn't quite cover. But this is still a pretty good product from what I remember. Alright, so that's on, so let's go ahead and set down the face now, and I'm using the Fenty Pro Filter Setting Powder in the shade, I guess, Butter. And I did get this in a box recently, and I've only tried it once, so I really, and again, I like to dedicate a whole month to a product just to really see if I like it or not. And from first impressions, I did like it. It seemed like a pretty nice powder. So just going in with kind of a poof, I don't know what you want to call it, puff thing, and just gonna go in and set down everything. I do wish this was like translucent. I don't think it adds too much like shade or whatever, but I always worry that it's gonna make my foundation look funny if it is like, if it has like a shade to it instead of just being translucent, but I don't think it is. I think if I blend it out well enough, it is almost translucent. It does have a fragrance. I don't mind fragrances as long as they're not super strong, but it doesn't smell bad. It's just a light fragrance. All right, so that's on. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and do my brows. I didn't pick a new brow product because I'm still trying to use up this $billion Brows Universal Brow Pencil. It's my oldest brow product that I own, and I really just want to use it up because I can tell it's getting old, and I have about that much left, so almost there. Alright, so brows are done, so moving on to bronzer, and bronzer I chose was the Marc Jacobs Omega bronzer. Packaging's kind of shiny, and this is in the shade Tantalize. I did show what it looked like, but there's what it looks like. I've only used this once. It was a nice bronzer, but it is a little bit deeper. It's a lot deeper than my skin tone, so I have to go in pretty light-handed at first and just kind of build it up. I can't go in heavy-handed, or it could start to look muddy on me, but it is a really pretty bronzer. Alright, so that's that. Alright, so moving on to blush and highlighter, I'm going to be using the Kenya Entourage. I don't know how to say that very well. But this is a blush and shine kit, and that's why I didn't pull out a highlighter, because this does have highlighters and blushes. So I'm going to go into this pinkiest shade. I'm not even going to try to say that name. Is it Lazolia? I don't know. You guys know how I am pronouncing names. So going in with the pinkyish one. I have used this, but again, it's been a while. So I think I remember it being pretty pigmented, or at least it builds up pretty well. So there's that, and then going in with the highlighter, I'm gonna go with the lightest one, which is Lights over here. It's very blinding in the pan. It's very pretty though. It's a nice subtle glow. I could probably build it up. Yeah, I can for sure build it up to be more of a blinding. Ooh, yeah. So you could either have this highlighter be very subtle, or you could make it blinding. I, of course, like it to be blinding. Yeah, it's very pretty. I probably wouldn't be able to use this highlighter, but I could probably maybe use that one. I don't know, I'd have to try it out. Alright, so there's that. Alright, so that is on. So that's on, and now I'm gonna move to the palette. And the palette this month is the Dream Street ColourPop palette, and this is a collab with Kathleen Lights. It looks so old, it's kind of beat up. I've had this for a really long time. This is one of my, I think this is like the second palette that I ever bought, like high-end. I thought ColourPop was like high-end, and it is, but it's not like expensive. It's really good quality, but you know, at an affordable price. That's why I like them so much. Anyways, this palette is unfortunately been discontinued. They don't sell this anymore. And I've asked you guys before if you guys care if I show discontinued products, and a lot of you guys say you don't care. And this is in my stash, and this is the palette that the number 17 was drawn this month, so that's this palette, so that's why I'm using it. But yeah, but just so you guys know, it is discontinued, but it is a really nice palette, I think. And I'm glad it's in my collection. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and get started. So I'm going to go into Shooting Stars right here, this tan shade, and use that as my transition shade. I can't say that today. But I haven't used this palette in a while. This was one of my favorites. And this palette is actually the reason why I started doing kind of like the number things, is because I was just using this palette constantly. And I didn't really want to use any other palettes, and I was like, that's not good. I have a lot of palettes that I need to try, I need to use, I need to show love, so that's why I started doing the number thing. This palette's pretty pigmented, and I don't know, it's a really good palette. I really wish they hadn't discontinued it, but maybe they'll bring it back someday. Let me know down in the comments if anybody owns this palette as well. Alright, so that's on. Then I'm going to go into Potion. This is this shade here, and put that all over my lid as well. Alright, now I'm going to go into, I kind of want to deepen up my corners with Water Bear. This kind of blue shade, but I don't know how that's gonna look, but you know, it's just makeup, so I'm gonna go ahead and go for it. I have missed this palette a lot because I don't know, the quality is just so good. It really does make me sad that they don't have this palette anymore. I should have bought a backup, but I don't know. I don't like to have backups unless it's like something I'm constantly going through, but palettes are, I don't like to have backups of palettes because they're always coming out with new palettes, and I don't know, I don't want to get another palette unless I've used it up. And this one still has a lot to give, you know. But at the same time, it has been discontinued, so can't get it anymore, so when I do use it up, it'll be a very sad day. Alright, I think that looks nice. I think it's interesting. I'm trying to not use, like, I still love my neutrals, don't get me wrong, but I'm trying to, whenever palettes have shades like this, I'm trying to use the more colorful shades, I guess. So for shimmer, I think I'm going to go into Mermaid Boy. This one over here, and kind of place that back here a little bit. Yeah. So pretty. I don't know if I want to go into this shade or this shade. I don't know. I think I'm going to go into Sweet Dreams over here and put that on as the second shimmer. Alright, so that's basically what I'm going to do for the eyes, like when it comes to the top. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up the rest of my eyes off camera. I didn't choose a new mascara this month because I'm still trying to use up this Grande mascara. So that's why I didn't choose a new mascara. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up the rest of my eyes off camera, and then I'll be back to apply the lipstick on. Alright, so I went ahead and finished up the rest of my eyes. I really liked how it looks. I'm pretty happy with the look I created today. So moving on to lipstick, I picked 4 lipsticks. Well, I picked 3 lipsticks and then 1 liquid lipstick. I'm not really sure which one I want to wear today. May just go in with the more nude. So I have 3 ColourPop ones. I have the Disney Princess collab one here in the shade Ariel. Then I have the Disney Villains collab with ColourPop in the shade Evil Queen. This is a red. And then the Disney collab Moulin with ColourPop, and this in the shade Hue Moulin. I'll just kind of show you guys kind of quickly. I'm pretty sure I showed them on camera, so I don't really think I need to. I showed them in the picking one. I think I might go in with this one. Let's see. I think I want to go in with the Moulin one. So this is in the shade Hue Moulin. This is one of their cream lipsticks. It's pretty comfortable. I do think it's a very pretty shade. Alright, and then last but not least is the setting spray, and this is the MAC one. The Prep and Prime setting mist. So I got this at TJ Maxx a while back, and I think it's like scented. I think that's why the packaging is like floral. I'm pretty sure this one's gonna be a floral scent to it. It smells like kind of flowery. I think it smells good. I have a watermelon one too, and that one smells really good. So just gonna go ahead and set my face. It's not the finest mister that I've ever used, but it's not bad. Just using my sponge to kind of blend out the droplets, if there are any. But yeah, there you go. There are the products that I'm going to be using for the month of February. I'm pretty excited to use several of these products. I don't know, I feel like I say that in all my videos, and I'm so excited for the picks this month. I'm easy to please, but it is nice to switch up products every month, so I'm excited to use these. But yeah, that is going to do it for today, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you like seeing these types of videos. And also, let me know down in the comments what you think of my picks for this month. But yeah, other than that, guys, I hope you guys have a wonderful day and a wonderful week. And I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye!